Hey, college basketball fans, this is Gary Greene, longtime professional sports bettor and sports handicapper here in Vegas for the last 35 years. And this is Gary Wins Videos, and this is our college basketball week 4, but our basically first video this year where we're going to take some long shots to make it to the Final Four. Everybody can pick the Kansas, Gonzagas, and the Dukes of the world, but we're going to go with 4 teams that not a lot of people would select right now to make it to the Final Four, but we got to have a little fun with that. I do it in all the sports, and these are teams that may shock the world and make it to the Final Four. Maybe we could come back with this video later in the year and revisit it and have a little fun, see if I can hit any one of the 4. But we're going to go with these 4 teams: Wisconsin, Ole Miss, Pittsburgh, and UCLA. They're my 4 long shot teams. I think that all of them are well-coached teams. They all have a good nucleus, decent 6-7 men. So all these teams have an opportunity. This is a wide-open college basketball season, the most wide open I've seen in 20 years. Any one of 20 teams, I believe, can win the national title. And we already saw now that Connecticut's lost a couple of games, so they're not going to be that repeat champion this year. They're not winning 3 straight titles. They don't have that type of talent this year. It's not going to happen. So it's wide open, but we'll go ahead now and do our week, heading into week number 4, our Gary's top 10 in college basketball. And I'm going to stick with number 1, Gonzaga. I think by far they're the best team. But it's really tight from 2 to 8. These teams, they're going to be a yo-yo up and down. Certain weeks, they're going to play a tougher schedule for 2 games, maybe lose one of the games. And you lose a game in college basketball when you only play twice a week. You drop right down 5, 6, 7 spots in the rankings. So though you seesaw up and down all year long. But these are the next bunch, obvious teams. But Tennessee, Auburn, Duke, Kansas, Marquette, Houston, and Alabama. Every one of those teams is a legitimate threat. Will be no shock for any one of those 8 teams to win the national championship this season. We'll round it off with a team, Iowa State at number 9. And I picked this team because I really like the head coach. I think that this guy gets the most out of his talent. I love this Gilbert kid. I like the tenacity that they play with. They can shoot outside. They're a much faster team this year. They're not going to be the 65-62 games like they were last year. This team can score a lot higher clip, and their pace has been faster already this year. So don't know if that'll slow down. Once you get into conference play, you know the other teams for the most part. But now with transfer portal, you don't really know what you know. You know how coaches like to coach, but transfer portal things have made things totally different, and that's why it's a learning experience. That's why I'm really excited when I'm off to good starts in any sport, but especially now college basketball, which has always been my favorite sport. Because if you give me college basketball over any other sport, the reason I like it is because it's 6 days a week, basically. Fridays have been a little better than years past when there was only Ivy League. But for the most part, you have so many games every night. And, in college football or the NFL, which I've just demoralized the NFL for the last 15 years, but it's 1 day a week. There's only so much you could do picking 3-4 games in a week, maybe 5 on my biggest card plays in a week. So college basketball, there's an opportunity to make a lot of money. You got to pay attention. You got to be very careful of the sandwich games for some of these better teams. They will let down, and then they will bounce back when the bigger game comes. So we've already seen some great games to start off this year. Connecticut, again, they're not going to three-peat. They're not winning the title 3 years in a row, and that's going to really make for some exciting basketball. And I think this year's March Madness may be better than ever, but it may be better than ever, not because of lower-level teams that you never heard of making it, but because it's a wide-open race. Anybody from one to probably the top 20 teams has a very solid opportunity to win the national championship this year. So definitely check back for all our college basketball videos, and we have some new videos up already this week for college football. We're going to do a preview video here for Thanksgiving NFL games, 3 games, which is always a nice, fun day. But then we also have a lot of college basketball on Thursday and Friday as well this week. And then, of course, Friday, college football as well. Big slate. So this is my favorite week of the year. We always used to call this the turkey shoot when we had our plays for the entire week, and people would sign up for maybe 1 week for the whole year, but they'd really get a ton of plays over a 7-day period. So one of the more fun weeks of the year. So I hope everybody has a happy Thanksgiving week, and make sure they, when you're making your bets, never bet what you can not afford to lose, and have a great one. Take care.